such was the call of Muhammad, the final messenger of God, a mercy to the world and all of humanity. A call that was ultimately triumphant. A call which united all men and women, all nations and tribes, all colors and races. The call that there is no God but Allah, pierced through Arabia and its neighboring lands. With the grandeur of a king, yet the humility of a slave before his Lord, the Prophet had finally reached the end of his mission. For almost 20 years he endured, persevered, called, beseeched, cried, suffered, fought, and finally succeeded in preaching the message of Islam to a darkened world. During those years he shouldered great burdens for the sake of humanity. The burden of expanding the faith, the burden of removing oppression and injustice, the burden of ensuring that humanity were given their God-ordained rights. He was the greatest man that had ever lived. Allah's messenger undertook these burdens to redeem the consciousness of humankind from drowning in the delusions of ignorance. He took up the burden of freeing man's conscience from the desires and lusts that chained it to this material world. Muhammad was calling for nothing other than Allah's message of monotheism and submission. The same message which was carried forth from the time of Adam by all of the prophets and messengers of God. The Prophet acted with perseverance and patience by day, and spent the nights worshiping his Lord, reciting the Quran and beseeching him for assistance and mercy. He wept for those with him, and he wept for the generations which would come after him. His concern and grace engulfed all. After the realization of the call and the full proclamation of the message, Allah's messenger announced his intention to perform Hajj. Enormous crowds of people came to Medina and accompanied the Prophet to Mecca. After performing the first rituals of Hajj, the Prophet and his companions headed for Mina and then to the plains of Arafah. The Prophet reached the valley only to find 124,000 people, black, white, rich, poor, men, women, and children gathered around him. He stood among them and delivered the speech that would change the world forever. O people, lend me an attentive ear, for I do not know whether I will be among you again after this year. Therefore listen to what I am saying to you very carefully, and take these words to those who could not be present here today. O people, just as you regard this month, this day, this city as sacred, regard the life and property of every Muslim as sacred. Return the goods entrusted to you to their rightful owners. Do not hurt anyone, so that no one may hurt you. Remember that you will indeed meet your Lord, and that he will indeed judge your deeds. God has forbidden you to take interest. Therefore all interest obligations will be waived from today onwards. However, your capital is yours to keep. Do not inflict iniquity, nor allow others to suffer from iniquity. Beware of Satan, for for the safety of your religion. He has lost all hope that he will ever be able to lead you astray in big things, so beware of following him in small things. O people, it is true you have certain rights with regards to your women, but they also have rights over you. Remember that you have taken them as your wives as a trust from God, and only with his permission. If they fulfill your rights, then they have the right to be fed and clothed in kindness. Do treat your women well, and be kind to them, for they are your partners and committed helpers. And it is your right that they do not make friends with anyone who you do not approve of, nor should they ever be unfaithful. O people, listen to me in earnest. Worship God. Perform your 5 daily prayers. Fast during the month of Ramadan and give your wealth in zakah. Perform Hajj if you can afford to. All humankind comes from Adam and Eve. An Arab has no superiority over a non-Arab, nor does a non-Arab have superiority over an Arab. A black person has no superiority over a white person, nor does a white have superiority over a black, except by piety and good action. Learn that every Muslim is a brother to every other Muslim, and that Muslims constitute one brotherhood. Nothing which belongs to a fellow Muslim is legitimate to a Muslim, unless it was given freely and willingly. Do not, therefore, do injustice to yourselves. Remember, one day you will appear before God and answer for your deeds. So beware. Do not stray from the path of righteousness after I am gone. O people, no prophet nor messenger will come after me, and no new faith will be born. Reason well and understand the words which I have conveyed to you. I leave behind me 2 things, the Quran and my Sunnah, and if you follow these, you will never go astray. All those who listen to me should pass on my words to others, and those to others again, for perhaps the last ones may understand my words better than those who hear me directly. Be my witness, O God, that I have conveyed your message to your people.